Gospel of St. Mark 8:22-26. The blind man was cured and could see everything distinctly. Jesus and his disciples came to Bethsaida, and some people brought to him a blind man whom they begged him to touch. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. Then, putting spittle on his eyes and laying his hands on him, he asked, "Can you see anything?" The man, who was beginning to see, replied, "I can see people. They look like trees to me, but they are walking about." Then he laid his hands on the man's eyes again, and he saw clearly. He was cured, and he could see everything plainly and distinctly. And Jesus sent him home, saying, "Do not even go into the village." Join me as I dive into the story of Jesus healing a blind man in Bethsaida and see if I can uncover the real message behind this miracle. The miraculous story of Jesus healing a blind man in Bethsaida is one that has resonated with believers and non-believers alike for centuries. It's a powerful demonstration of God's love and power, and one that has significant implications for our understanding of faith and healing. In ancient times, blindness was a disability that carried a significant social stigma. The blind man in this story would have been shunned by society, forced to live on the periphery of his community, and reliant on the charity of others to survive. His isolation would have been compounded by the fact that he was unable to work or contribute to society in any meaningful way. The blind man's existence would have been one of darkness, both physically and spiritually. The desperation and hopelessness that he must have felt would have been overwhelming at times. Furthermore, the societal perceptions of disability during that time would have added an extra layer of challenge to his already difficult existence. He would have been viewed as cursed or punished by God, and would have been judged and ostracized by those around him. The weight of these societal expectations would have been crushing and would have made his life even more difficult. In many ways, the blind man's greatest challenge was not his physical blindness, but the spiritual and emotional darkness that surrounded him. The blind man's life was one of quiet desperation, a constant search for a way out of the darkness that had consumed him. He would have heard stories of Jesus and his miracles, and would have wondered if this was the answer to his prayers. Perhaps he had even tried to seek Jesus out before, but had been unable to find him. The blind man's encounter with Jesus would change his life forever. The setting for this miracle was Bethsaida, a small fishing village on the northeastern shore of the Sea of Galilee. It was a place of bustling activity, where fishermen and traders would come to buy and sell their wares. Jesus would have stood out in this crowd, his presence drawing the attention of everyone around him. The blind man would have been drawn to Jesus, sensing that he was different, that he was someone who could help him. Jesus' approach to healing the blind man was unlike anything he would have experienced before. Jesus spat on the ground, made some mud, and then applied it to the man's eyes. He then told the man to go and wash in the pool of Siloam. The blind man would have been shocked, and perhaps even a little outraged by Jesus' unconventional methods. Why was he doing this? What was the point of the mud and the spit? But Jesus was not interested in explaining himself. He was interested in healing the man. The moment the blind man washed the mud from his eyes, he would have been met with a sight that would have taken his breath away. The vivid colors, the vibrant life, the bustling activity of the village would have been like nothing he had ever experienced before. The emotions that would have flooded through him would have been overwhelming. Joy, gratitude, wonder, and awe. The people around him would have been equally stunned, unsure of what to make of this sudden and dramatic transformation. The reaction of the crowd would have been a mix of amazement and confusion. Some would have been celebrating the blind man's newfound sight, while others would have been questioning Jesus' methods and motives. The blind man's family and friends would have been overjoyed, grateful for the miracle that had taken place in their lives. But amidst all the excitement and chaos, the blind man would have been processing the enormity of what had just happened to him. He would have been trying to make sense of the sudden and dramatic change in his life, and would have been wondering what this new reality meant for him. The story of the blind man in Bethsaida is a powerful reminder of the transformative power of faith and the limitless potential of God's love. It's a story that speaks to the deepest longings of the human heart and reminds us that no matter how dark our circumstances may seem, there is always hope for a brighter future. As we reflect on this miracle, let's remember the key themes of faith, hope, and transformation that run throughout it. And let's allow these themes to shape our understanding of God's love and power in our lives. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this incredible story in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about biblical miracles and teachings, be sure to check out another video on our channel.